Hello and welcome to the award-winning movie podcast. This is the podcast where we give out movie-based awards for any criteria we can think of. And this week, we have got some proper categories. We are talking about the best acting debut of all time, and then we're deciding the best ever film remake. So some good proper movie chat coming later. But the big news this week is that we have counted up the scores, and we now know who has nominated the most award winners on the pod. So we're getting competitive from here on out. Or at least I am. Anyway, let's go. Take it away, AI lady.
Have we still been doing intros? It's one of those where I never hear the intro music until it's edited.
Yeah, I'm not done editing.
It's just sort of I forget that it's like a part of it.
Yeah, we come in on it and go out on it, and every single one, it can't say the word podcast, but I just leave it.
Yeah.
I could generate another one until it does it, but it's funnier.
I think it's funnier if it's kind of a bit shit, to be honest.
Yeah. One thing I do want to come in hot with is what we mentioned at the end of last week's podcast, which is the score. So we've had a tally, and Craig is on 5. He's nominated 5 things that have won. Tom, you're on 3. I'm on 2. Cameron, who was only
Which
there
means you're a loser.
Yes, it does mean. Well, Cameron was on 1. He's only done 2 episodes, but he's on 1. So technically, I'm not last.
What Cameron won with was that R2D2?
Yeah, but I gave him the R2D2 win, but technically, I'm not last.
Well, good for you, Brad.
But in spirit, I am last, and I'm furious, so I'm never losing again.
See, I've sort of forgotten about the whole winning element. It feels like I should have just nominated Rocky more times, and then I could have been top of the board.
This week, we're going to turn it around. I'm taking the win. So this week, we're doing best remake and best debut acting performance. Which one do you guys want to start with?
I do acting performance, I feel like.
All right.
I'll tell you what, shall I go first?
Yeah,
Richard?
you kick it off.
Yeah.
Okay, tell you what, special nominee, Alan Rickman, Die Hard. There you go. Special mention for that guy.
He's probably my pick.
I was just going to say, I only knew that was a debut performance when I was looking it up earlier. I was like, shit, that was Alan Rickman's first performance.
That's a sick debut performance.
Fucking crazy.
My actual pick for best debut, I'm torn between 2, and one of them is Alan Rickman in Die Hard, so he's well up there for me. He's the best part of the movie.
He is the best part of the movie, although I'd argue it's going to sound stupid. If Die Hard wasn't a very popular film, nobody would care that much about it. It's just more that Die Hard became what it became. Like, it's not an incredible...
You think it's overrated?
No, but it's still a special
I think
a special mention.
Die Hard is overrated, I think, generally. But I still think it's a good movie, and Alan Rickman's performance in it is the best part of it for me.
I feel like it's good, but yeah, I feel like I'm sort of... not even saying like Die Hard's overrated or anything, but I think if it was going to be... And this is probably why it's a special mention for Craig. It's really good. It's one of the better parts of the movie, but is it like the best ever? I don't know. I feel like it's missing a little bit of something. Maybe it's the wrong type of movie for that. I don't know. But
I don't think it's the best performance ever or the best villain performance ever, but for it to be your first ever film performance, it's hard to do a good, a really significant, especially like culturally significant. I think Alan Rickman's villain is often up there as one of the best villains. If you Google the lists.
I think the reason it was in my special nominees is because he elevated the film.
Yeah.
I think none of the Die Hard films live up to the first one quite as well. Like, probably 2 is the closest. And I think a reason for that is because none of the villains that came after were as good as Alan Rickman.
That's definitely true.
So to elevate the film you're in on your debut is quite impressive. And that's why he's a nominee for me.
Because I am interested in the $640 million in negotiable bearer bonds that you have locked in your vault. And the computer controls the vault.
Want money? What kind of terrorists are you?
Who said we were terrorists?
The thing that got me thinking about this category of best debut is like, did he just do a great audition? Because he wouldn't have had any profile. Like to get a really significant part of your movie just be some complete unknown who's never made a movie before, who doesn't know what it's like to be in a movie set. I'm sure he's done stuff like the TV movies or just TV generally, probably. But to be able to do that...
Bruce Willis was a TV star before that, though, wasn't he? So I don't think they wanted any movie stars in it.
Well, it wasn't Bruce Willis's debut, was it?
Well, I don't know. He'd probably done bit parts, but he was mainly known for TV before Die Hard. He was known for a show called Moonlighting with Sybil Shepherd.
Oh. I'm now Googling.
It's weird that I think maybe it sometimes is that they just give it, especially if it's going to be like a villain or a side character or whatever. They are generally, I think, less worried about it being a big star. So I think that, or like they were. I think now you might have more trouble, but like doing a great audition will sort of get you there. Because one of the other ones that came up, which isn't on my list but worth mentioning just because we're talking about it, is Frances McDormand in Blood Simple as a debut performance. She got the role in that film after she was like flatmates with another actress that I've forgotten the name of. He was like, "Oh, I'm too busy to do this." Like they wanted her to do it. They got in touch with her and they were like, "You should do this." And then she's like, "I'm too busy, but I've got this flatmate who's all right. You should audition her." And that's how she ended up in it.
It's who you know.
And then she was just in like half the Coen Brothers movies ever, and she's great. So. Yeah.
Well, she also went on to obviously marry one. I think they misinterpreted it when they said, she's all right, She's all right. She's get in there. She's all right, is she?
But yeah, that series of events led to us getting like her performance in Fargo. I think,
I don't think I've seen Blood Simple, so I can't comment on it.
It's their first movie, so a lot of debuts all around. It's a good movie.
I saw it about 15 years ago, so I might as well have not seen it, which is like 90% of the films I've seen these days.
Yeah, Craig's running on this podcast having not seen a film.
I want to hear one of Brad's nominees.
I've got another great debut that you guys are going to love talking about, which is
going to be
Sylvester Stallone in Rocky.
I fucking knew it.
That comes up a lot online. Best debut, Rocky.
We just need. Did anyone make their debut in Lord of the Rings? They must have done. Then we can talk about Lord of the Rings.
I always thought Orlando Bloom did.
Orlando Bloom might be a debut in Lord of the Rings.
He had just shot an episode of Midsummer Murders, and then went over to film Lord of the Rings. So yeah, it probably was his debut.
I swear I heard he auditioned for that while still in acting school.
His first role, according to Google AI, is as a rent boy in the 1997 film Wild.
Add that to the watch list.
Why does Google AI specify rent boy? I feel like you should say like male prostitute. It's like
no, he was a rent boy.
No, he was a rent boy. And it's like, I don't know. That feels like I don't know. It feels like maybe you shouldn't be going with rent boy as your default description. But anyway.
There's one that always comes up at the top of the lists. I suppose it's an honorable mention. I've not seen it in a while, but Citizen Kane, Orson Welles.
Oh, that was another mention of mine.
Actor and director debuting there at age 25. But I don't have anything to say about it. I just wanted to mention it because it was on loads of lists, but I don't really have anything to say about its performance.
I like that one scene where he's clapping really enthusiastically.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah.
No, it's a great directed movie. I think I just don't remember his performance that much. It is harder though. I think when you're leaning towards much older movies because obviously the
acting style is different
in such a different way. Yeah. When you think about the performances that are like really affecting for you, that they don't tend to come up for me, which is I don't know. It's just kind of like a bias of mine, I guess. It's like I'm not trying to have it. It's like, I don't think, Orson Welles and Citizen Kane, that like made me really emotional. It's just sort of like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a better directorial debut than acting debut.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking insane directorial debut.
The reason it was a special mention for me as well is because I remember Citizen Kane reasonably clearly. I think I've watched it about 4 times.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's a tough movie to watch 4 times.
I think it's a good movie.
It's good.
Hey, it's a good movie.
It's long and slow, and once you know what happens, I suppose it makes it a bit less rewatchable for me, but maybe.
I think I might have experienced the story more than 4 times just through the lens of like The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Like I've not watched it 4 times.
But I think it's worthy because to give a performance as well as he did, because no one's ever said it's a bad performance whilst directing and sort of managing the production in itself, I think it's actually quite a sizable achievement because directing your first movie alone is pretty freaking tough, isn't it? So
yeah,
to give a performance as well as he did whilst managing all those other things, I think is definitely worthy of like a pretty badass debut.
And that's back in old school Hollywood as well, when it was even weirder.
Yeah.
This Inquirer that's costing you $1 million a year?
You're right, Mr. Thatcher. I did lose $1 million last year. I expect to lose $1 million this year. I expect to lose $1 million next year. You know, Mr. Thatcher, at the rate of $1 million a year, I'll have to close this place in 60 years.
I was going to go for it. He's an honourable mention of mine, but I think he's a strong candidate as well. I've got John Cazale in The Godfather.
Is that?
'cause he's Craig's
Tom,
favorite
I
guy.
love you, Tom.
He's Craig's favorite guy. That's what I wrote in my notes. I wrote Craig's favorite guy.
This is where I was keeping tally of the scores going to play into.
Yeah.
You're just catering to Craig. He loves John Cazale.
Yeah, but this is why he's an honorable mention. But he's in like 5 or 6 films ever. We can fact check that, and every single one of them is a classic.
I know. It's Craig's
So
favorite
he's
actor.
a great guy. He's in great movies, and I think the reason he's an honorable mention, not the winner for me, is that he's better in part 2, and he has a bigger role. But he's fucking great, man, and he just has a great like actor face.
That's why he's my favorite actor. I genuinely believe he could say more with his face than other actors could with about 20 pages of dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's John Cazale. If you haven't seen John Cazale, Godfather Part 1 and 2, Dog Day Afternoon, The Conversation, go watch it
Deer
more, and you'll be
Hunter.
like, Jesus, and you'll like see one of the greatest actors of all time. I swear to
He's
Christ.
amazing. I think Dog Day Afternoon is the peak of John Cazale for me. But yeah, great debut. You just only in 5 of the greatest films of all time. That's absolutely insane.
The only reason he wasn't in my mentions is because I didn't feel like I could remember his scenes in the first Godfather well enough. I could in the second one because
Yeah,
his
the
scenes are
second one
quite
is way more
iconic in the
important,
second
yeah.
Godfather. But I was like, what did he do? What did he do in the first Godfather other than go to Vegas and be a pimp? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. That's why I think he's just special mention for this one. But it's like, you got to mention him. He's the fucking guy, you know?
He is, man.
Mike, you don't come to Las Vegas and talk to a man like Mo Green like that!
Fredo, you're my older brother, and I love you. But don't ever take sides with anyone against the family again.
I've got a nomination that I'm betting Tom's not seen this film because you grew up in a house full of brothers.
Okay.
So I can't imagine, and I
Okay.
can't imagine you sitting down watching it now. Mary Poppins.
I have seen Mary Poppins like 80 times. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, well, it's one of my mum's favourite films, and that sort of dominated what I was watching on TV
Fair enough.
a long time as a kid. But I didn't realise that it was a Julie Andrews debut until I was looking this all up, which I think, yeah.
Mary Poppins is my main pick.
Oh, but I said it first.
Is it your main pick? Is it your main pick though?
Yeah, I had it like that and Alan Rickman. But
Brad, that means if you win, we both get a point.
Oh, but I want the point.
I think it's a good, like, multi-talented performance. It's a good, like...
It's iconic, and to come out doing that,
It
and it's
is.
quite a swinging for
Yeah.
the fences. Like,
Yeah.
I never said nuanced, not nuanced. It's just like it's a big performance to give. It's quite a unique talent to portray that character like that.
Yeah, to give a performance that iconic on your first try is pretty damn impressive. To
Yeah.
win an Oscar for your first performance in a film ever, pretty impressive. And
Yeah.
not just based on a sort of a gimmick, because I think some people get nominated for their first film just as kind of a marketing thing.
Yeah, especially if they're a kid. if
I
they're
won't
young.
name names,
Yeah,
but she definitely wasn't. It was pure talent.
Yeah.
They obviously knew they were onto something as well, though, because she was pregnant when she first got offered the role, and they waited
I don't know.
for her to give
Really?
birth and, like, everything. Yeah, they obviously knew, like, she was the right person for
I
it.
was going to say, I don't know how she got cast, even though they made a film about the making of that movie and Save Mr. Banks.
Yeah.
Because I am a bit curious about how they find these people that aren't known, who have never done a movie before, and especially when they give them a huge role, like the main bad guy in Alan Rickman or the
Yeah.
title character in Mary Poppins.
It definitely feels like something that was, like, more of a thing in the past than it is now. Like, now, I was literally just complaining to someone earlier today that every actor who's in anything now has to have starred in Euphoria at one point, and
So-
nobody else is allowed to be in a fucking movie. But, like, there was a point where they were just picking guys, like, and then some of them become really huge movie stars and some of them don't.
The only comparison I can think of is sticking Daisy Ridley in Star Wars, because I think that was her professional film debut. She'd
It
done
was,
student films and
um,
stuff, but
Because they had an open casting call specifically for the new Star Wars. I remember it was a whole thing. It was on the news, and it was in the UK, and they did a whole open. So I think obviously John Boyega had been in stuff before, but she hadn't really been in anything.
the three of us used to go to a society in uni, and it was called something like the Comic, Anime, and Video Game Society.
Yeah.
And we were in a pub one night at like a social.
We just call it Nerd Society.
We did, yeah.
We did. One guy comes up to us, and he has a pint in his hand, and he just hunched forward and to talk to us and said, "You know, I auditioned for the new Star Wars film."
I don't remember this.
I could have got it. And he was like the skinniest, palest, like, no offense to the guy, but I was thinking, you're not getting the Star Wars film.
What role? As a stormtrooper?
I don't know, but it was like open auditions, wasn't it? So literally anyone could have gone. So I just like the idea if he showed up going, oh, this is it.
This is
And
my
I'm
This
moment.
is my big break. Well, it's hard to sort of beat the Julie Andrews one.
Well, what was your number one pick, Tom?
I kind of didn't have one. I had loads that I really liked, but I think one that I wanted...
We're not all sharing Julie Andrews. We're not all having a point.
No. I actually didn't put that on the list at all because although I've seen it, I think like it's very musical leaning, and I was like, you know, that's fine. It's just not my sort of thing. But I was gonna go for either, and I'll make a decision in the next few minutes. Either Kate Winslet in Heavenly Creatures, which is a debut performance. She's amazing in that. It's a Peter Jackson movie, which every time I remember that is wild because it's like it's not Lord of the Rings.
Oh, but we should talk about Lord of the Rings. Let's talk about
Which is Lord of the Rings. It's found its way in here again.
I've seen it, but like
It's basically about two teenagers in New Zealand, I'm going to say.
it was about they conspire to kill someone.
Two teenage girls, yeah, and they kill one of the other girls' mothers.
Ah, right, yeah. The only thing I know about it is from the behind the scenes Lord of the Rings features they were talking about it. So that's the only thing I've seen from it.
Yeah, it's a mental film for Peter Jackson to have made, but it's an amazing movie. It's a really fucking weird story, and that's her first performance, and she's like 19. And the wildest part of that story as well, which is not in the movie, is that so as teenagers they murder one of their parents, and then because obviously kids, I guess, don't go to jail in the same way or whatever, or like one of them just became like a crime novelist under a different name, and nobody knew about that for a really long time. So she was like a best-selling crime author. But also she murdered her mum or a friend's mum like 15 years before. It's fucking mental.
Right, what you know.
Well, yeah. So I had that, and then my other one, which again I didn't know was a debut, but Jason Schwartzman in Rushmore.
Oh yeah,
He's great in that, and it's such like I think it's just that he's young in it, and it's a debut performance, but it's a performance that doesn't have much of a template before it because it's obviously made Bottle Rocket, Wes Anderson beforehand, but Rushmore is like the first film that's really, really in that Wes Anderson style. You feel like half that tone is set by Jason Schwartzman. You know, like all those other movies and the way that people act in them and the way that they are doesn't work without Jason in this movie.
I like your nurse's uniform, guy.
These are OR scrubs.
Oh, are they? Well, they're totally inappropriate for the occasion.
is he in a lot of other Wes Anderson things? I'm trying to think if.
I don't think he's in loads. He's in Asteroid City again.
Oh, I've not seen that one.
And I think that you get like a nice sort of full circle moment where you know he's then playing against a load of people who are also doing this Wes Anderson thing, which is kind of partly defined by his performance like 20 years earlier.
Oh, I just thought of a debut that isn't on my notes that got a mention. It's great role, and after this performance he did, they tried to get him to do loads of other Hollywood movies, and he kept saying, no, I'm going to focus on my rap career, and that's Eminem in 8 Mile. Great performance in that. He's a sick in that.
he was, to be fair.
He's not as good as Julie Andrews, but he's great in that.
He's not as good as Julie Andrews. They're both aiming for the same thing.
Yeah, they're so similar. They're both doing songs. They're both
acting.
No, he's sick in that film. He's a really good performance.
Yeah, that was a really good example of just casting somebody who probably didn't have any acting experience, but just knew what the vibe of the story. Like remember the film Fish Tank, like British film, came out 2009-ish.
Yeah, and they street casted the lead.
Yeah, it was like an example of that where they just cast a young woman who had no acting experience, but just come from similar kind of surroundings, and she's like, yeah, I sort of know how this person be feeling.
That is a good point. Yeah, I wonder if. Because I don't think Eminem's ever done. He's done like cameos and things, but I don't think he's ever done another proper performance since that. So that kind of is very much him just playing himself to a large degree. So is he really acting, or is he just like that's the most method performance of all time?
Yeah, and it's hard to tell, especially if it's somebody's debut as well, because you've got nothing to go off. You're like, oh, is this because they're just like that, or is it? Are they just doing this really well?
You'll never try to judge me, dude. You don't know what the fuck I've been through, but I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook, that's a private school. What's the matter, dog? You in Paris? This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence. And Clarence lives at home in Poland.
But I think we're dancing around the issue that me and Craig have both brought Julie Andrews to the table.
Yep.
So I think she's going to win.
I think she has to win automatically. I wasn't going to vote for her but not because she's not good. But again, just musical thing, not my thing. And I feel like it's cheating a little bit. Oh, you can sing and you can dance, can you? Great. Get a load of this guy. Look, you wanna be a triple threat? That's bullshit.
But Tom, which of your 50 nominations would you pick? At this point, we're just going to mention every debut ever in a film.
No, I'm not. No, but I'm picking Kate Winslet. I think she's amazing in that, and I think it's a big debut for basically one of the greatest living actresses. So
you see, I'm usually willing to change my vote, but I haven't seen Heavenly Creatures in such a long time. I cannot remember her in it at all.
No, you can't change your vote because I have to get a point, even if we share the point.
You're going to get half a point each.
I'm due. It's time. Oh, wait. So do we get half a point each or do we get 1 point each?
I think half because...
No. If we start going into decimals, it's the point. The scoring system might get
silly. We're not going to get to 0.3s and 0.1s or anything, but half a point I think for a shared one.
I actually agree. It should be half, but I think Tom's only said that so that I don't tie with him. So I'm still losing.
I forgot what I was on.
Well, I could just take a point off Tom. That'd be better. Anyway, the best debut performance of all time is Julie Andrews in Mary Poppins.
Yay.
How about you? Very well. Hold this for me. As I expected, Mary Poppins, practically perfect in every way.
I saw on one of these lists for best debut, I saw best debut ever, Kathy Bates in Misery. I was like, wow, was that a debut? Wow, that probably is the best debut. Not a debut at all. She'd been 8 movies before that.
He's lied.
People don't know what they're talking about. Our next category of the day is best remake ever. Craig started last time, so Tom can start this time. What's the best remake ever?
I'm going to start with a couple of special mentions. I'm going to go for Heat, because it's a remake of another Michael Mann TV movie called LA Takedown. And it's an incredible fucking movie. And I thought just worth a mention just on the grounds that, it's really rare to remake your own movie.
It's very
apart
weird.
from the side bit where you could be like, oh, all directors are trying to make the same movie over and over again with slightly different things changed. It's literally the same movie, but they're just sort of oh, well, now we've got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer and what
I can make the movie I wanted to make, but I didn't have the money for, probably.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of and then making something that good and it actually being worthwhile, because you feel like it's one of those where it's sort of your sort of hubris get the best of you there. You'd be like, oh, I'll make a way better version of it, and everyone's like, all this money and it's not even better than the original. But no, he rocks.
He is very good. Michael Mann also did the original, what's it called?
Taking a Pedlam 1, 2, 3?
No, the first Silence of the Lambs movie. That was Michael Mann, wasn't it? But not
he did, yeah. It's a film called Manhunter.
Manhunter, yeah.
It's a great movie. It's just sort of forgotten, I think, because the Lecter, played by Anthony Hopkins, is just so much more iconic than the Brian Cox one. Yeah. But it's a great movie, Manhunter.
The remake isn't Silence of the Lambs. The remake is Hannibal or Red Dragon, right?
Which is a really naff movie. That kind of sucks.
It really reminded me of the TV show, the movie Manhunter, is it called? Manhunter is a lot more like the TV show Hannibal than the movie Red Dragon.
Yeah, and you can tell that the creators of the TV show have seen Manhunter.
Yeah, it's a lot more about a slightly... Is he autistic? I'm not sure, but he's got some kind of extra ability to see a crime scene, and he walks through it, and it's all a lot more kind of almost sci-fi, but yeah.
Yeah, it is a bit sci-fi. I love the Hannibal TV show. Honorable mention for Tom's favorite TV show, Hannibal. Is Craig going to have this one? I've got a fistful of dollars.
Craig's definitely going to have that one.
Craig's got it, hasn't he?
No, actually.
Is that... Did you not actually put that?
I prefer your Jimbo.
Right, no, yeah, but I suppose the thing is it better than the original? That's because I haven't gone for that at all.
Well, I feel like the best remake of all time, award-winning best remake of all time, would be better than the original. I feel like that had to be a criteria. Because how can it be the best of all time if it didn't top the thing it remade? Otherwise, it's pointless.
I don't know. I think some of these are so different, because I think for Fistful of Dollars, it's it uses the same base, the outline as Yahimbo, but it's a very different movie. It kind of establishes the whole Sergio Leone thing. It's the bedrock of a specific genre of Western. It's I don't know. Whether you think the original is better or not, I feel like that doesn't make it not a great remake. But
yeah, I'd say it's a contender, but it's not quite up. I've not seen Yojimbo. I don't
It's
think.
not the best one. It's not the best one, but I thought it was a big honorable mention in there.
Just so people know what we're talking about, Fistful of Dollars was a remake of a samurai film called Yojimbo by the most famous samurai director ever, Akira Kurosawa. Sergio Leone never actually admitted it was a remake, didn't it? There was a lawsuit over it. But yeah, that first Clint Eastwood Western in the Dollar Trilogy was pretty much a shot-for-shot. At least some sequences were a shot-for-shot remake of Yojimbo.
Was Fistful of Dollars before The Magnificent Seven?
I don't remember now. But that's also a remake
so
of
it
Seven
kicked off-
Samurai, but I went
yeah.
for Fistful of Dollars on the list because it's
Yeah, it just kicked off the thing of doing
more
a
iconic.
Western remake of a samurai movie.
Yeah, which I think is actually a really easy thing to do. I think actually in some of these remakes, it's like, oh, can you transpose one story into another place and time quite easily? If you try to remake The Dark Knight as not a superhero movie, I feel like you get caught up in too much of this extra like bullshit that's part of the plot that makes that really difficult. But when you have like a really simple outline, like
A warrior travels around and does
and
a mission. doesn't
there's
it?
a new small town and there's a whole like a thing. It just makes it more straightforward, and then you can make it more of your own movie.
I don't think it's nice you laughing. You see, my mule don't like people laughing. It's the crazy idea you're laughing at him. Now, if you apologize like I know you're going to, I might convince him that you really didn't mean it.
I made a note on my list of what Tom would say.
Oh.
I like predicting what you guys will put.
I think I know what both of you would say.
I've got Tom, maybe not as your actual...
You're
pick.
not going to get my winner.
I didn't have it as your winner, but...
My actual winner, you guys are both not going to get.
Okay.
I guarantee
well,
you.
I put as one of your nominations I thought would be Suspiria.
Oh, shit. No, that's my winner.
Yes!
I kind of forgot that maybe I've just talked about that a lot.
You love
before.
Suspiria.
I do. I love it.
You talk about it all the time.
Yeah, and it's not better than the original, which I kind of think, like I say, for me is irrelevant in this category. It's just such a different movie.
I've seen the remake, but I've not seen the original.
Yeah, original, great movie. Remake, also a great movie. It's just, and it's a wild remake of that because it's like not even attempting to do the same things as the original in any way. It's like that base outline is there.
So what's Suspiria about, Tom?
Yeah, so in the plot of Suspiria, an American girl joins I can't remember if it's in the original as well, but she joins a German dance school that is run by a coven of witches. And so, like I say, it's a classic horror film directed by Dario Argento in the 70s. And there's a remake in 2018 by Luca Guadagnino, who I really like. And I think I really like him largely because he made this movie. But it's just a different movie completely. And the ways in which it's horrifying or attempts to be horrifying are totally different. I think it does still have like a sort of over-the-top gore thing, I think, but it goes for a different sort of angle with that. And I feel like it just has this like
creepy tone,
ridiculously overwhelming sense of dread throughout it. Like I left the cinema feeling like I was going to have a heart attack. It was just like, it's
a proper kind of horror that, I'm going to say horror that gets you scared, which sounds stupid, but there's so many horror movies that are silly and jokey. That's a proper like, no, you are going to be horrified watching this movie.
Yeah, it is. Like the original and actually the remake. The remake is like, but as in it doesn't, I'd say it doesn't have any like jump scare horrors within it. It has some bits that are a bit uncomfortable to watch, but largely it's just sort of like a horrible, unsettling vibe.
It's just not a nice place to be. It's just unsettling.
It's not a nice place to be.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, it's one of the best movies I've ever seen. And one of the ones I least want to rewatch ever, just because it made me feel sick. Like, and it's not even remotely like the original. So I kind of like that they aren't doing this thing where they're like, oh, we'll just do this because the other one's old and we'll just update it so that teenagers will watch it. They have really tried to make their own Suspiria, and I think that comes off.
I want to start work on a new piece. A piece about rebirths. The inevitable pull that they exert and our efforts to escape them.
Right, I've got a challenge for you two. Can you guess what one of my picks is or what my actual nomination is?
The Departed.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to say it's not your actual nomination, but I was going to say The Departed.
It is The Departed.
I knew you were going to say The Departed.
I love that you said that with like a little bit of a shitty Boston accent. You're like, it is The Departed.
Because it's The Departed. Yeah, which is a remake of Infernal Affairs. Which was a Korean movie, right?
No, it's Hong Kong.
Oh, right, okay. Fair enough. I've not seen Infernal Affairs, so I can't say if The Departed is better or not.
See, this is a similar situation with loads of others where a lot of people are like, oh, the Infernal Affairs, the original is better. And again, I've seen both, and it's a good movie, but I think, again, I don't think it matters whether it's better or not. I think that The Departed is like both classic Scorsese, but also him doing something slightly new, and that's a way more like commercial and accessible movie.
I've seen bits of Infernal Affairs, and I would say The Departed is very different. It's not just remaking it; it's a Scorsese movie, which the first one isn't. It's its own thing.
Yeah, which is why I think it qualifies for like a best remake, because they transpose that story onto Boston and all the different things about the place and the class and and like being Irish American and stuff that's part of the movie now, and it's it's a really important part of it. They've not just remade it and changed the character names and that's it.
Yeah,
isn't it all still the same? I've seen Infernal Affairs, but like every other film a long time ago, isn't it all still the same plot points though?
Yeah, probably
it's the same plot, but
almost scene for scene, like the same plot, the exact same things happen. They don't change the story much. Like you said, they just change the setting and add sort of the Scorsese vibe to it.
Well, it's the same base story, but again, I think it's one of these where it's sort of like, I think some people, and I am not on this side, get quite upset at the idea of remakes because they're like, oh, well, they stole that story. And it's like, it is just a story about two guys undercover in opposite situations. It's like, you know what I mean? You're not breaking the sort of barriers of high concept here. Like,
it's got a great theme tune that goes, we're shipping up to Boston.
Yeah, I was just saying, yeah, all the fucking like needle drops in it are amazing. It's got a great, like a really, really well chosen soundtrack of music. It's got some great fucking scenery chewing performances. Like, Jack Nicholson's great in it, and Alec Baldwin's great in it, and
Mark Wahlberg's great in it. He's hilarious in it.
You're a worker. You rise fast.
Like a 12-year-old's dick.
Thank you, Sergeant.
My pleasure.
Mark Wahlberg's great in it, and he's hardly in it at all, but he's just like one of those where it's sort of like, okay, everybody like make the most out of being a small character. It's like you've got really memorable like one or two scene guys in that. Like even Martin Sheen's really good in that, and he's hardly in the fucking thing.
Another Scorsese remake, he's done it a few times. Cape Fear is also a remake of a older American movie.
It was the original. Did it have Robert Mitchum in? Am I remembering that right?
Sounds right.
That sounds right, yes, but I don't know. No, it's Gregory Peck.
Oh.
Or is it both of them?
Oh, it's both of them.
It is both of them. Craig, you're right.
And Robert Mitchum's the Robert De Niro character,
yes,
I
think.
He is. Yeah, that makes sense, because that'd be much better casting than the other way around.
You know what my favourite remake of Cape Fear is? The Simpsons episode with Sideshow Bob. What a fucking great episode of television.
Who was it that was going to direct Cape Fear originally, and
it was
Martin
Steven Spielberg.
Scorsese swapped it?
Oh.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg, because Scorsese was going to direct Schindler's List.
That was it.
That's a good swap. That's a good swap.
Yeah, they swapped because Steven was like, this is a bit weird that, like a non-Jewish guy is doing Schindler's List, and Scorsese's like, yeah, I feel like you might have a point in there.
Trade.
I feel like this isn't the way Hollywood is supposed to work, though, isn't it? You don't just go up to directors and go, oh, what you got? Holocaust drama. I'll trade you this
trading
thriller.
Yeah, I feel like it was much more like sort of pleasantly exchanged between that one. But I remember that I can't remember who was the originally director, but Malcolm X, which is an amazing movie by Spike Lee, was originally supposed to be directed by a white guy. And Spike Lee made a big sort of stink about it. And he's like, well, this is fucking bullshit, because he's like a potentially quite controversial character and like person in history. And and he was like, no, I'm making this fucking movie. And he sort of essentially like strong-armed his way into directing the movie of Malcolm X.
Oh.
It's a great movie. So he was right.
Right, and I still need to mention my main pick, because you two have done it, haven't you? Suspiria and The Departed.
Oh, wait, can we guess?
Go on.
I don't have a guess, but I want to guess.
Yeah, I don't have a guess.
What does Craig like?
Really obvious one.
Oh, is it Ocean's 11?
By the way, I'm trying very hard not to take the piss this week. So
King Kong. Peter Jackson's King Kong.
Fuck off. No,
Peter Jackson's King Kong. You know what? I watched that recently. Fuck me, it sucks. I love Peter Jackson, but that movie sucks.
It needs an hour.
You basically just like you just want to fast forward to all the bits where Kong is fighting a dinosaur. Yeah. All of that shit is great. Everything else about it sucks.
Oh, I don't know what would Craig pick.
I'm going with David Cronenberg's The Fly, which was actually a remake of a 1958 film of the
called The
I think it
Fly.
had the same title, but like it was like a B movie, like sci-fi, and it had like, you know, the same premise: man meddles with science, turns into a monster, yada yada yada. But it was like your standard B movie at the time, perfectly acceptable. But like David Cronenberg, like he got his hands on it and realized, oh, this could actually be something here, and he added emotional depth and metaphors and body horror and a pretty like tragic at times and emotional, and like some of the quotes in it are like. But I think they hit you. Like, there's one bit in it where he says,
I'm saying I'm an insect who dreamt he was a man and loved it. But now the dream is over and the insect is awake.
No, sit.
I'm saying I'll hurt you if you stay.
Cronenberg's like he's associated with horror, but he's not really like a big traditional horror director. Like he is making generally like it's because it's got a lot of the sort of the VFX and the disgustingness and that involved in it, but he's not really making straight up horror movies. Like if you're looking at and stuff like Videodrome and like Crash and, you know, like History of Violence, they're not just sort of like regular horror movies, you know, like.
Well, he was the guy that you'd bring to a film when you wanted like the blood splattering and the VFX to actually mean something.
Yeah, it's not just sort of like, oh, they were doing this just for the scares. It's like, you know, they aren't, you know, really different sort of movies generally.
Yeah, it's like the way The Fly ends as well. So, spoiler alert, like there's a point where he's fully mutated into a fly and he's trying to drag the female character played by Gina Davis into the machine to transform with him. And, you know, it's horrendous. And then I think somebody manages to shoot him, bring him down, and he's crawling along the floor and he grabs the shotgun that's in Gina Davis's hand and points it to his head. And you can't understand what he's saying at this point because he's full fly and he can't talk anymore. But Gina Davis has tears streaming down her face and she's crying because he's asking her, kill me now. Like, so, and it's like so heart-wrenching but disgusting and terrifying at the same time. And you're like, what? Like any other, you know, like this came from a B movie and they extracted so much, like a B movie where it's supposed
No, actually, Craig, it didn't come from a B movie. It came from a Fly movie because it's about a fly.
Oh,
fuck's sake, man.
I had to get that in. Had to. It was right there. It was right there. That's what he said.
But I think actually, if you like, just to correct, the big achievement of that as well, though, is that like if you look how disgusting he looks at the ending of The Fly, the fact that you can feel anything about him, you know what I mean? Like they pull that off as an emotional thing is a big deal because, God, it's upsetting to look at.
Yeah. Fun fact, I've seen it once. I always go on about how I can't remember films I've seen 10 years ago. I remember The Fly because you fucking cannot forget the way like he transforms hideously, slowly throughout the film. And some of those images, they just don't leave you.
So we've got The Fly, we've got The Departed, and we've got, what did Tom say? I've forgotten.
Suspiria.
Suspiria, of course, yeah. 2 horrors and 1 crime thriller. But who will win? What are we thinking?
Tom, sell me on yours more because I haven't seen it, but I really want to vote for it to not let Brad win.
But I mean, it's hard, isn't it, when not everybody's seen all the movies? But I think it's just a remake that really stands alone among remakes because I think it's, for one, easier to remake something and make it very close to the original. That's like one for a start. Or remake a movie that wasn't basically perfect to begin with and then still make something really good. I think, like, because the original Suspiria is so amazing and so beloved, the fact that you even attempted to make something that was very different and made a movie that good is incredible. Because it's like you're saying with The Fly, and that's a big thing about that. And I'm tempted a little bit tempted by The Fly, you know. But that was based on a movie that really didn't have as much to it as what they ended up with. Whereas I think it's so much bolder to remake an absolute, like, nailed on, cast in iron classic.
Am I losing? Is no one coming over? Brad, editing Brad, play the theme tune. It's got a great song. And Scorsese won his Best Director Oscar for it. It's a bit of a gimme, we want to give Scorsese an Oscar.
Yeah.
But it's a sick movie. And I've got another nomination. If you're not feeling
It's
The
a great
Departed,
movie.
it's technically a remake. It was technically used as source material for the making of this movie. And that movie that is technically a remake is The Fellowship of the Ring.
Fuck you.
There was an animated
Fuck's
version.
sake, man.
And Lord of the Rings is better than all of your nominations. So, therefore, it's the best ever remake. Fight me.
I think for this reason, I can't vote for Brad now. He's too
Oh.
desperate. He wants it too much.
I'd say, in all seriousness, like, Infernal Affairs, I feel like, help me out, like, didn't The Departed sort of more emphasize the crime side, like the machismo side of things, whereas Infernal Affairs was like about sort of the lonely side of being a mole?
I have not seen Infernal Affairs, so I can't comment on what that does. But The Departed, I would say it focuses a bit more on the crime side, maybe, or one of the opening lines from Jack Nicholson is that what's the difference between being a criminal and being abiding by the law, which I think you're meant to disagree with because there's a big difference. But I don't know. Vote for The Fly. I don't care.
Well, the problem I've got is that both of your choices were on my list as well. So it's like, I don't know, man. They're all good choices.
Brad, should we give it to neither of us and just give it to Tom?
For a movie that only I have seen. Wait, no, has Brad even seen Suspiria?
I've seen the remake, yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't
Yeah,
seen the original.
It is good.
It's just that I trust Tom. Like, Tom knows his shit. If he says it's the best, I believe him.
To be fair, my pettiness aside, Craig did do a good argument for The Fly.
You did.
I think my ranking would be The Departed because I'm a mainstream person who likes normal movies. And then The Fly.
Yeah.
And then probably Suspiria, which I think Suspiria is a good movie, but it's not an easy one to recommend to people. It's not.
It's a
lot of people's
horrible
cup
one
of
to
tea.
recommend to people.
Yeah,
Like I say, I wouldn't even watch it again myself. But it's a great movie.
I'm being a really big person here. I want that on record. I'm fine to give it to Craig for The Fly. He made a very good argument. And it sounds like the movie that from the original, again, not seeing any of the originals of these movies, but it sounds like it made the biggest step forward.
I think that's fair. I think Craig did make the most impassioned argument for The Fly, so I'm happy to give Craig a win for The Fly. But on the proviso that both of you watched the original Suspiria, how have you both not seen it? I thought Craig would have seen it. Craig's an old film guy, man, and he's let me down.
But it sounds spooky.
It is spooky. It's right your wrongs and watch Suspiria 1977.
Right, I will watch the original Suspiria then. But before I do that, I will watch the best remake of all time. That is The Fly.
Oh,
yeah. Hooray!
My teleporter turned into a jeans splicer. A very good one, and now I'm not Seth Brundle anymore. I'm the offspring of Brundle and Housefly.
So Craig stretches his lead even further. He's pulling away. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I hate that guy. Let's kick him from the podcast. Yeah.
The award-winning movie podcast.